Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to try and get some paint maybe done on this hood scoop, maybe get it mounted up as soon as the paint's cured properly. I wanted to show you something real quick. The last time I worked on the scoop was on Friday. Today is Monday that I'm recording. But I wanted to show you something to watch out for. Usually when I start prepping for paint, I'll wear some rubber gloves. And I had sanded the hood scoop a little bit, and it looks pretty good. But if you look around it real close, and you look at spots like right here, it flash rusted where I had touched it. There's a couple of more little spots on it like right there. I don't know if you can see that spot right here, but it flash rusted in a couple of spots. So I'm going to go back and hit this with some 80 grit again, sand it down real good. I'm going to mask off the underside where I painted it black. And then there's one little dent right here that I discovered. So I'm going to put a little putty on that, and then I'm going to prime it up, and then try and do I'm going to put some fill primer on it. I'm going to try and do a finish sand on it with probably some 320 to 400 grit, and wipe it down and try and get it ready to paint. I'm hoping I only have to prime it one time. It's just a small panel, so I'm hoping I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it to get it ready to paint. So if I can get it all sanded, get it all primed, and spray some paint on it today, that would be good. We're having a little issue with the weather, so I don't know if I'll spray paint today, because Hurricane Beryl, I'm in Louisiana, so Hurricane Beryl is bringing a lot of rain, so it's real humid outside. I'm in my shop, got my air conditioner on, helps with the humidity, but I'm going to have to roll this roll-up door up over here and put a fan under the bottom of it so it kind of pulls the fumes out when I spray, so I don't get it all over the shop. I got everything covered up that needs to be covered up, so we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to touch it up with some 80 grit. There's a little bit of surface rust spots that popped up. Touch it up with some 80 grit, and then I'm going to get it prepped to put some putty on that one little dent. I found a few other spots that need a little putty. When you feel along this edge where I was working it, welding it, all that kind of stuff, there's a couple of little ding spots. So I'll lay a little skim coat of finished putty here, and on the sides where I did the shrinking to get that shape, you can't hardly see them, but you can sure feel them where I shrank the metal, where it pieced it, shrink it in on both sides. So I'll mix up a little glazing putty, because it won't take much. It's a spot right there also. I'll mix up some glazing putty to run down the sides and on these little spots here and there on it. And we'll work those down, and then I can get it ready for some primer. So it's coming along. All right, I got my little putty board here. I like this. It's got some paper that you can just tear off. It's easy to clean. I just got some glazing putty. That's what I'm going to use to cover the little dents. They're a little small dents. There's nothing major to them. So I'll mix this up. That'll make it more better. All right, I got a little 80 grit on a block. I'm gonna try and cut the big stuff down, and then I'll probably come back with a little 220, smooth this out. Okay, now I'm going to touch it up with some 220. All right. All right, I'm gonna clean it up, wipe it down. I think I'll spray a little primer on it, and then I let the primer cure for a little bit, and then we'll probably just gonna do 320. It's a single stage urethane that I'm gonna put on here. Probably cut it down with some 320, get it all smoothed out, and then I'll do the sealer. Have a little bit of sealer, I'll seal it, and then I'll lay the paint on it, and fingers crossed, it'll come out okay, hopefully. Let me go get on it. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I wiped it down. Wiped it down with some prep all, get the oil and grease and anything like that off of it. I wiped it down with a tack cloth, mixed up a little bit of primer. I'm going to use this spot gun because the panel's not real big. I might have to go put more primer in it a couple of times, but this should do the trick. Kind of going over where I put the putty so that it sands out. You can't see it once I sand the primer. This little spot gun doesn't create a lot of overspray, a lot of stuff in the air. Since I'm trying to do this in the shop today with the hurricane coming, it's supposed to rain pretty hard today. Humidity's up, so I'm just trying to do this and get this finished. Let me go put a little bit more primer in here. Hey, it's not looking bad to me. I know I'll get some criticism from all you real painters out there, but I don't like the paint, so I hate the sand. I don't know if I've told anybody that yet before, but I hate the sand. All right, I'm gonna clean the gun, let this cure, and then we'll come back and do some finished sand on this and get it ready to paint. Be back shortly. All right, I got it all primed. got some 320. I'm gonna scuff it up with some 320, and then I'm gonna come back and go back over it with some Scotch Brite, some red Scotch Brite, which is about like a 400 grit, and make sure I got everything covered, and then it'll be ready.
Well, at about this point, I didn't realize my microphone quit on me. So pretty much the rest of the day, everything that I did, there is no sound. So bear with me, and I will try and fill in some vacant points for everybody while you're watching. So I'm sanding with 220 grit, trying to smooth everything out. So for this part of it, I'll be doing 220 sanding. If you notice, I'm doing circles, I'm doing different angles, trying not to sand in one direction only, trying to cover the whole surface so that it'll be smooth with the 220. Once I get done with this, then I'm going to switch over to, I'm sorry, it was 320. I'm going to switch over to the red Scotch Brite and go back over everything to make sure it's ready to paint. If you notice while I'm sanding, I keep wiping the surface of the panel off, and I also keep wiping the surface of the sandpaper and beating it on the top of the panel. What I'm doing is while I'm sanding, the sanding dust is clumping up on the sandpaper. It gets a little irritating because when it clumps up, it'll start leaving streaks, and it'll actually cut into the surface of the primer, and it will leave marks that you can see in the paint. Here in just a second, I'm going to show right here what I'm talking about. I bring it up to the camera, and you see the buildup on there. Those little spots will cause marks in the primer, and it's going to show up in your paint if you're not careful. That's why I keep wiping it, wiping the surface, and wiping off the sandpaper. At this point, I'm pretty much finishing up. I finished up with the 220. I grabbed the red Scotch Brite pad and started going back over the entire panel, making sure I got all the spots, so there's no shiny spots. Everything was smooth, or at least everything looked smooth, and it would be ready for paint as soon as I got through doing the Scotch Brite rub down here. I clean the surface. I blow all the dust off and everything, kind of wipe it down a little bit, double check to see if everything is covered, and what I see that's left, I'll go back over again. All right, once it's all completed with the sanding, I'll take the air hose, blow it off, and clean it. I don't show it on camera, but then I get the prep solve. I wipe the surface down with the prep solve to get any wax, grease, or anything like that. Clean the surface, get it ready. That way it's ready and go to put paint on it. And right before I start spraying paint, I'll take a tack rag and wipe the surface down with a tack rag, as you can see right there, and it'll be ready to start spraying. I take my spray gun and do a little test pattern on that wooden board back there, and we're ready to start laying sealer. First thing we're going to put down is the sealer. That'll cover any of the bare spots that I might have cut it through while I was sanding. It'll seal up all the edges. It'll seal up the paint, or seal up the primer, and it'll be ready to put the green paint on top of. So I'm going to lay that down, and once that's down, I'll allow it to tack up and flash over for probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll come back to it and start putting paint down. All right, the sealer's tacked up. Doing a little test pattern with the paint. As soon as I get it to where I like the way the flow is coming out of the gun, then I start laying down the paint. I'm going to lay the first coat. I'll let it flash for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and lay a second coat, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I get finished. now that I've finished up, we're going to leave it overnight, let it cure overnight. I'll pick up the video camera here, let you look at it. It's got a little bit of debris in it. Just doing the best I can. So didn't turn out too bad. Hoping my buddy likes it. We'll see tomorrow. And tomorrow's video hopefully will be better and the microphone will work. Sorry about that.
There it is. Painted. Set overnight and dried. It's got some debris in it in a couple of spots. I don't have a paint booth really, and I got some stuff in it. Hoping Dusty's satisfied with it. I'm gonna try and get it mounted onto the hood. Probably another 30 or 40 minutes. My buddy's gonna be here, so I'm gonna try and get that mounted on and see what it looks like. So here we go. Maybe get a couple of more washers. Ow. All right. Let's see how that looks. Well, I don't know. What you think? Does it look okay? Left the opening in the back. Dusty's going to get some kind of screen and put in there to finish that off. I didn't have anything to go in there, so he said he'd take care of that. He's going to be here in just a little bit. What y'all think about it? I hope you don't think it looks too bad. As long as my buddy enjoys it or likes it, that's the main thing. So as soon as he gets here, he's bringing the truck. We're going to put it on the truck and get it all bolted down on the truck, and then we'll get some final shots of it. It's got a beautiful truck, so I hope he's happy with it. Well, I hear him pulling up right now. Let's see what happens.
I'm doing the same thing, buddy.
Well,
wow, I love it. It looks great to me.
The colors are just about a half a shade off.
It's okay. It's a half a shade off everywhere.
What do you think?
I love it.
Does it look okay?
It looks great to me. I love it because she's going to be back a driver.
It's got,
Look, the whole truck has got things wrong with it. Nothing's perfect on my truck, and that's the whole point of me building it. I
Yeah.
never built it to be perfect.
that's a little bit of Wabi Sabi.
I love it.
Finding beauty in imperfection.
I love it.
So here it is. So we'll get some tools. You got the bolts. Yeah, I got you on video. So.
No, I absolutely love it. I mean, yeah, I got the bolts in the car.
We'll put it on the truck. I'll get me a final shot with it on the truck.
Absolutely.
And do a little go around on your ride.
Yeah, go ahead.
This ride is known as Angry One. Beautiful truck. Beautiful, beautiful truck. And Dusty built that all on his own. And to think it did have a blower on it at one time. What a nice truck. We're gonna get the hood back on it with the scoot, get him down the road. Hold it, you can get your side started first.
Down just a little bit. Did you loosen that one too? Yep. Oh no, I did not loosen that one, sorry.
You're having a problem with lefty loosey and righty tighty today.
I absolutely do.
Go down some?
Yeah. Let's see what's. get excited. I get excited.
Yeah, you're like a damn Neanderthal.
I am. Just call me Primitive Pete. That's what they used to say when I was going through my MOS training.
Yeah.
And you started beating stuff with like crescent wrench or something like that. Primitive Pete.
Ease it down. Primitive Pete. That shuts a lot easier.
It does. I think I'm in love with it. This side is a lot closer than, and I like that.
Yeah, your little stopper was binding it.
It sure was, wasn't it?
Your little rubber stopper over here was what was binding it.
Yeah, I can live with this. This is very acceptable because I've already got this, so it just helps.
It's gorgeous. Well, give me the verdict.
I love it.
It's good?
I love it, brother. I love it.
All right.
And I hope and pray that we could do more projects in the future.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure
man,
you
it
can.
is just, man, it looks good on there.
Changes it completely, doesn't it?
It does, and I love it. Because it's not just a plain truck. Now, I mean, they'll notice the small things. And it's not obnoxious either, because it's not like, you know, way up here.
I told you, any more
Yeah.
than a couple inches is going to look kind of crazy. I thought anyway. So, well, there it is, guys. Buddy seems to be happy. So,
Oh, I forgot you was filming.